Israelis do sometimes speak about Iran for Palestine, in a sense. And so this linkage, I think there's some room there to move. I don't mean to overstate it, but that sometimes is said. So the thing Netanyahu very clearly is most worried about is the Iran issue. We've spoken about that in existential terms very explicitly. And the thing that the world, everyone outside of Israel wants most is some movement on the Palestinian issue. So there, in theory, there's potential for movement there, but it's limited. And it's limited in part, I think, because one of the limiting factors, I think it's also interesting in Washington here, is just the bandwidth of time and effort and political capital that the leadership can spend. So we mentioned earlier the coalitionary problems. These are very different coalitions you have to build. For an Iran strike, you need one thing. It is not the same coalition you need to be hawkish or dovish on the Palestinian issue. Examples are perhaps Bogi Ya'alon, the brand new Minister of Defense, which is an extremely important post in Israel, who is at least these days a very, very much a hawk on the Palestinian issues, although he wasn't originally. But on the Iran question, perhaps more, I wouldn't say dove, there are none, but perhaps more of a centrist, shall we say more skeptical of a unilateral Israeli strike than Netanyahu and then Barak, his predecessor. So these kinds of coalitions you need to build are very different. If you want Ya'alon on your side, you have to do certain things. If you want someone else on your side, you have to do very different things. There's limited bandwidth, and successful presidents and prime ministers, from my observation, are the ones that know to prioritize very clearly what they want. So unfortunately, I think for the attention to the Palestinian issue, this linkage might be more difficult politically.